Hi, my name is Sunday. In this video, I'll be talking about reseeking for asylum after first application expired. How possible? So now in this video, I'm going to be telling you the possibilities for you to reseek for asylum. If you have sought for asylum before, maybe they have given you time without number, different type of negative, first negative, second negative, and third negative. There are many people that have gotten third negative. Currently now, they don't know what to do about it. So they have told them that they can't do anything about it. You can reseek for asylum. For those ones that were driven away from camp due to one problem or the other, maybe they were driven away from their camp or from the reception center due to one problem or the other, their asylum claim have been cancelled, so they don't know how to go about it. You also have the right to reseek for asylum. And also those ones that also came to Italy or passed through Italy, now they're in different countries like Germany and other places. They did not stay in camp, and ever since they have been looking for them maybe to continue their proceedings because they were uncounted for. This group of people, they can also reseek for asylum. They want to come back and reseek for asylum. They have the right to reseek for asylum. It is called subsequent application. Subsequent application. Now, before we dive deep into it, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe and make sure you click the notification bell so that whenever I upload any new videos or information, you will know. Now, let's get deep into it. It says subsequent application. That is what it's called. To reseek for another asylum, subsequent application. So it says Article 31 of the procedure allows the applicant to make further submissions and present new documentation at any stage of asylum procedure. These elements are taken into consideration by the Territory Commission in the initial procedure. So this one is talking about when the procedures of the first application is still going on. Now listen to the second. It says Decree Law 113 of 2018, implemented by 132/2018, has introduced a definition of subsequent application. An asylum application is considered a subsequent application where it is made after. Now listen to it. An asylum application is considered to be subsequent application when one, a final decision has been taken on the previous application. When they have given you decision, they have decided on the first application, either they have given you negative. That's one, under that ground, you have rights to do subsequent application, or you have right to reseek for asylum. And then two, the previous application has been explicitly withdrawn. The previous application, which is the first application, has either been withdrawn by you or cancelled by them. So in that ground or on that ground, you still have right to reseek for another asylum, which is subsequent application. It says third, the previous application has been terminated or rejected after the expiring of 12 months from suspension on the basis that the applicant was unreachable. So now listen to this. After 12 months, now, if the previous application was terminated or rejected due to the person was not found in the Italian territory, maybe the person just came and before you know, the person moved over to another place, and due to that period or due to that process, the application was cancelled because the person was nowhere to be found. Or also, if the person was also driven away from camp due to one problem or the other, the person also have right to file in for subsequent application. It says in case of subsequent application, asylum seekers benefit from the same legal guarantees provided to asylum seekers in general and can be accommodated in reception centers if places are available. Now listen to this. If places are available, many people will be asking, can they come back to come and reseek for asylum? Yes, you have rights. Yes, you have rights to come back to reseek for asylum, but they said if places are guaranteed, you have rights under the general rule. Just like the first one, when you come to Italy, they will put you in camp or reception center. This subsequent application or reseeking for another asylum, there is no guarantee. Although you still have the same rights, but it's not going to be under guarantee. That's why some people, when they are reseeking for asylum, it's either they find a place where they'll be staying or residing. So there is no guarantee of them putting you back back in camp or then putting you back in sprawl. So that is it. There is no guarantee, but you have the right to it, but there is no guarantee because you are seeking for it or is a subsequent application. So it says subsequent application have to be logged before the questura, which starts a new formal registration that will be forwarded to the competent territory commission. Subsequent application need to be relogged in questura. You need to go to questura to go and relog it, to go and reapply it again. Then the questura will now forward it to commission. It will now be commission that will now later decide how your asylum proceedings will now go on. So that is it. So many of you that want to receive for asylum, what you need to do is either you go direct to questura to go and receive for asylum, or you ask confirm from your lawyer. The best thing to do, confirm from your lawyer. Many people have resort for asylum again. So it was through their lawyer. You have to confirm from your lawyer. There might be any kind of document that your lawyer need to give to you, or any legal advice that your lawyer need to give to you before you can go to receive for asylum. So you got to consult your lawyer. If you don't have a lawyer, find a very good lawyer, or you can also go by yourself. Everyone have rights, just like the first application. You have right to receive for asylum, just like the first application, as I've said. So let's look at the preliminary admissibility assessment. It says, as stated in accelerated procedure, upon the transmission without delay of the application by the questura, without delay, because if you go to the questura to go and file in the application to receive for asylum, the questura don't have to delay. Now it says the territorial commission has 5 days to decide on the subsequent application. According to law, they have 5 days to decide on that application when you seek for asylum. You say the president of the territorial commission, which is the judge that is going to preside over your case, the judge makes a preliminary assessment in order to evaluate whether, listen to this, in order to evaluate whether new elements concerning the personal condition of the asylum seeker, whether new elements concerning the person's condition, if the person's condition before they gave the person negative, if the person's condition before they drove the person away due to one thing or the other from camp, and its asylum claim will be cancelled, if the person's condition has changed, maybe currently now the person have health problem. Previously, before, maybe the person was okay, was not having health problem. Now the person has health problem. That's a change in the condition of that person. And that might result in them giving the person a good result. That's what the judge is going to look at before they can grant you the permission to continue for your second asylum claim. So it says, or the situation in his or her country of origin have been added to the asylum application. Now, also, if the situation of your country has changed as well, maybe previously before in your first application, before they gave you 1, 2, 3 negative, if you have gotten 3 negative, maybe the situation in your country was okay. Things were okay. You know what? There's nothing that will make you not to go back to your country before. That was the reason why they granted you negative. But now, if the situation in your country has changed, then you have rights to continue your second application for asylum claim. And also through that aspect as well, there might also be possibilities of them granting you a better or good document. So those are the claims that the judge is going to look at. If the situation in your country has changed, now when also renewing your story, because you also have right to renew your story, you can say another thing, or you can add to that of your story. If there have been changes in your country now, you can add it to it. This is the reason why I can't go back, because there's war now, because there's turmoil, or because there's one political problem or the other, or because there's instability in your country. You might also have those stories to read. Then probably to also yield you or give you a better document. So that's what that saying. It says where no new elements are identified. If there's no new element, if you want to receive for asylum, and listen to this carefully, if you want to receive for asylum, there got to be changes to the first asylum you have sought before. There got to be different things that will make the judge to grant you. Number one, those ones that are having health problem currently now, you have a good chance of them accepting the second asylum claim. Or you have one problem or the other now, you have one thing or the other that have tied you to Italy. Maybe currently now you're having family here. That might also be a good chance of you not going back to your country, of them not rejecting or taking you back to your country. If you have wives and children over here, it might also be a good chance of them not taking you back. And also, if your country has changed, the situation in your country has changed as well, you have to add things or find things that is happening in your country for you to add to it. On that ground, then the the judge will give you a go-ahead to continue with your asylum claim. So that is for those ones that want to seek for asylum, wherever you might be. If you have been in Italy before and they have rejected your case, they have rejected your asylum claim, or you've come to Italy before but you did not stay, you just moved to another place, or they drove you away from camp, you have everyone, no matter where you are, in Germany, in Spain, in France, everyone have right to seek for asylum. You can seek for asylum in France, you can seek for asylum if you have sought for asylum before in that place and they have rejected you according to law. It is UN law. According to law, you can seek for asylum, but on this ground, that's when the judge is going to grant it. So it says, where no elements are identified, if nothing is identified that will make them not to take you to your country, the application is dismissed as inadmissible. If no elements are identified that will make them grant you the second application. So it says, see admissibility procedure. So let's be looking at the admissibility procedure, what it means. And also it says, in case the subsequent application is declared inadmissible, resection conditions can be revoked. If their plan of giving you a resection or putting you in SPRA or putting you in camp, if at the end the court or the commission find out that there's not sufficient evidence for you to carry on with this second application, if their promise of giving you house, if their promise of putting you in SPRA, if their promise of putting you in camp, they will revoke it. That's what they said. They will revoke it. But everyone still have rights to appeal. That's what they're saying. It says, for application dismissed as inadmissible, the time limit for appealing a negative decision is 30 days. You still have 30 days. Even though the judge says there is no sufficient evidence, you still have 30 days to appeal that decision as in regular proceeding appeal. However, listen to this. However, the appeal has no automatic suspension effect, meaning it's not just like the first appeal that you have been doing before. The first appeal has suspension effects, meaning if they were to take you away, if they were to deport you, it suspend that deportation. It suspend them from taking you or driving you away from camp. You understand? But this one, under this one, there's no suspension effect. They can drive you away from camp or they can even deport the person. So now let's look at the admissibility procedure. It says Article 29 of the procedure decree sets out the grounds for inadmissibility. Decree Law 113 of 2018 has introduced the new Article 29 bis to the procedure decree, setting out an additional admissibility ground. Now look at the ground. Under the ground whereby they can dismiss the case, it says the Territorial Commission may declare an asylum application inadmissible where the applicant, one, has already been recognized as asylum by a state party to the 1951 Refugee Convention and can still enjoy such protection. So under the ground whereby they will dismiss your application when you seek for asylum again is when you have been granted document before, maybe either by another state, another country, and you have come to seek for asylum. You are still in possession of that document. They can reject, deny, or dismiss that application. Two, it says, has made a subsequent application after a decision has been taken by the Territorial Commission without presenting new element concerning his or her personal condition or the situation of his or her country of origin. So as I've said earlier, if the person has filed in for subsequent application, the person want to seek for asylum again, and the person don't have sufficient evidence that his own situation, that his situation has changed, his condition has changed, anything about it has changed from the previous one. If the person wants to say the same story again, it's not going to work. So if the situation of that person has not changed, they might also dismiss it. If the situation in the country of the person has not also changed, they might also dismiss it as well. If there's no war, before there was no war and currently there's still no war, there's no ground of them granting it. But if the situation has changed, now there is war in that country or there is instability in that country, or there's fighting in that country, or there's political problem in that country, or religious problem in that country. So on that ground, the commission or the judge might grant that person permission to go on with the second asylum claim. So through that process, they might grant that person better document. So if you want to receive for asylum, you got to know, number one, look at it as your condition change. That's the first thing. As your condition here in Italy or wherever you might be, in any country you might be, as your condition change, Then 2, the country where you are claiming, as the condition of that country also change, that is the thing. What are the things you need to cite? What are other things that are happening in your country that you need to cite into your commission story? If anything is happening, you need to cite it into your commission story or say it in your commission story so that they will know that the situation of that country has changed for them not to drive you back to that country or deport you back to that country. So on that ground, if there's no sufficient evidence, they will dismiss it as well. Then 3rd, has made a subsequent application during the execution of an imminent removal order. Now listen to this. Subsequent application cannot be made instantly when they give you negative. No, it can be made. When you make subsequent application, because they have given you negative instantly, they want to remove you from the country or deport you. It's not going to work. So you have to let time pass. Like those ones that maybe 1 year has passed all over. Those ones that maybe they have given a 3rd negative, and it's almost 1 year plus now. Even though it's not 1 year plus, but as far as it is more than the 30 days of appeal, the person can seek for asylum. Especially those ones that have gotten there for many years now, the person have right to seek for asylum. So now, in conclusion of the whole matter, everyone have rights to seek for asylum. It is also called subsequent application. As I've said earlier and initially, you have right to seek for asylum. If you have been denied asylum in your first application, or you came to the country and they drove you away because of one problem or the other from your camp, and you have been rejected, you did not even go to commission, you can still seek for asylum now. And also, if you come to Italy before and you were nowhere to be found due to maybe you just left to one country or the other, you still have rights. You still have right to seek for asylum. It is called subsequent application. Now, I said on that ground, before they will accept that your second application or the subsequent application, you got to demonstrate that there will be change in your life, change in your situation currently in any country where you are. Not only in Italy, it's happening in Germany, it's happening in other countries in Europe. You have to declare that your condition has changed. Especially, I'm putting this out to those ones that are having problem with their health. They are having their condition has changed due to one health problem or the other. Due to that ground, they have right to seek for asylum, and it might be granted to them positively. And also those ones that the situation in their country has also changed as well, drastically, politically or in one way or the other, religiously in one way or the other. They also have right to filing for second application or subsequent application. They can seek for asylum, and also it to be accepted. The procedure will also carry on. If you don't have documents now, when you seek for asylum, they are also going to give you 6 months again to start with. Also give you a commission date to go and tell your story. You can also retell your story, your current story, before you can add to it. That is it. You can add to your current story, or you can talk another story, but in line, almost in line, similar with your first story. So that is it. You need to know what to say in line with your condition or in line with the changes in your country. So that is it. You have right to seek for asylum. Like what I said, you can go to Questura direct to go and do it, but preferably you can call your lawyer, contact your lawyer, so that through your lawyer it will be easier for you to do. There might be document that your lawyer needs to give to you. You take it to Questura, then they will grant it to you, submit it to the commission, then later the commission got to respond back. If they are accepting that second application, they will first accept it, that the Questura will now later give you sojourner, 6 months sojourner to start with, before you will now go through your commission dates and other things. Thereafter, if they grant you, they might give you 5 years asylum or subsidiary or other type of document is about to come. Now, on this ground, the reason why it is very, very important, on this ground, the new decree that is about to come into place is going to make it easier for people to start getting special protection. People that maybe they were unable to give asylum documents to or subsidiary to, those people can be granted special protection, 2 years or 1 year special protection. So that is it. You don't need to lose guard. You have right to seek for another asylum. You can also confirm from your lawyer to know how true is it before you can carry on with whatsoever you have heard from me. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, and also share it to others as well. If you know you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe and make sure you click the notification bell, so whenever I upload any new videos or information, you will know. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.